Are you wondering what $500,000 can buy you in terms of property in the Brisbane market? In today's video, we're going to be reviewing a recent client purchase around that $500,000 mark. Now, my client bought this for about circa $530,000. So what can you exactly get when you're looking to buy a $500,000 asset in the Greater Brisbane market? We're going to talk you through the value proposition, whether it was growth focused or cash flow focused or both, why we like this property, what kind of person this property would suit, and how long it took this client to buy the property. So on screen, you can see the front facade of the home. Now, let me give you a little bit of a backstory as to what this property was like. As you can see on screen, this property has been recently renovated. The garden beds have been refinished. They've put some nice gravel in the front walkway. They've painted the gutters and had the front facade tidied up. And so this property was in a very good condition. This is a property in Logan City Council, less than 30 kilometers from Brisbane's CBD. And my client was looking for a property under 600K, which had a balance of capital growth potential, as well as cash flow in the short term. And this property came up trumps in terms of ticking those boxes. As we go through the photos here, you'll see that it's very tenant ready, which is another key factor my client was looking for. They weren't looking for work on the property. They didn't want to have to do maintenance straight away. And so finding something that was renovated in a good area on a good sized block ticked enough boxes for him. On the right hand side here, you can see there is drivable side access, and we've got a really large rear yard, which we'll take a look at later. It's a low set brick home with tiles on the roof, and the roof appeared to be in good condition based on the building and pests. As a bonus point, when we had the building and pest inspection organised, the builders actually told us that the frame and the roof trusses of the property were cypress pine. Now, cypress is an expensive timber, and it's highly resistant to termites. Termites don't like eating cypress, so having this throughout the entire home is a big bonus in terms of protecting the property. This is the first shot you see as you walk into the home, and there's some virtually staged furniture here. So we're standing in the walkway of the front entryway, and it shows you the open plan kitchen, living and dining. Now, the kitchen is not very large, but it is in a good condition, and it creates quite a large space throughout the home. There's definitely room here for a 6-seater dining table and a lounge as well. You probably wouldn't stage this or live in this property exactly how this has been virtually staged, but this gives you an idea of what the property looks like as you enter. This is a shot of the newly renovated kitchen, and they've done smart things here. They've just put in stainless steel appliances, very basic kitchen, enough bench space on the right hand side for you to prep and cook, and they've just spent enough money in terms of upgrading the home. On the seller's side, if you're looking to renovate or add value to a property, this is the type of renovation you should look to do on an investment. Don't overcapitalize. Now, if you're buying one of these properties as an investor, make sure you check that the fixtures and fittings are working and that you have a building and pest inspection cover, and look at the water and the plumbing and the structure of the home. This is a shot without the virtually staged furniture, looking out onto the backyard and back towards the kitchen. You can see here that they've added some new flooring. It's pretty basic, but it's exactly what you need. It's not too much or not too little, and it's going to be easy to maintain and keep clean. This is a shot of one of the front bedrooms, again with virtually staged furniture. New floors throughout, ceiling fans, lights, exactly what you'd expect of a typical home for $500,000. Again, this is another bedroom. The basics are covered here. Nice flooring, paint on the walls, nice white ceilings, new curtain rails, and a functional cupboard to put your clothes in. This is a shot of the third bedroom, which looks onto the back patio. Again, the basics covered here. There's a cupboard on the left-hand side, a couple of new roller blinds, and again, the ceiling fan and light. Now, the bathroom here was quite well laid out. We're looking at the sink and the basin, and in the mirror, you can see here there's actually a door to the right, and that's a separate toilet. So that means someone could be in the bath or in the shower, they can have that door closed, and then the washroom area, so the toilet and the basin, can be used separately by guests or by other kids or other family members, and so the bathroom is actually quite well laid out for a 3-bedroom home. This is a shot of the rear patio, and you can see they've got a massive deck space here, which would be great for entertaining, and a really large yard. This is an aerial shot of the property showing the 3-bedroom home with the back carport and the back patio covered area, and you can see that it probably doesn't have too many trees or plants on it, and so it's very low maintenance from that point of view. It will just need mowing every few weeks to keep it neat and tidy. The other thing to notice here is that the neighbouring properties are in a similar condition. So my client hasn't gone and bought well above the median price point or well below. They bought at the median price point for this suburb, and that's what you want to be doing. You want to buy at or below the median value. Typically, you're going to buy a median value if it's in a better condition or if it's renovated, and you're going to be buying below the median price point or below the median value if the property is in a worse condition and you're looking to add value to the home. These are the final shots from the aerial point of view where you can see how large that rear yard actually is. This block's on over 700 square meters, and one of the great things about this property is the value add potential down the track. You can see the house is actually very well placed at the front of the block, and there's nice wide drivable side access on the right hand side and fairly wide access on the left hand side, which is walkable but not drivable. What this means is my client in the future could add an auxiliary dwelling. It could be a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, granny flat essentially, which you could rent out to a separate party for around $400 per week. Now, this is not something he's looking to do in the short term, but there is the value add potential there over the long term. He's looked to buy a property that will cash flow well and meet his purchase price needs in the short term, continue to grow because he's got quite a large parcel of land and some strong land value, and then he'll look to potentially add value by increasing the cash flow and adding a granny flat on the property, or there's other options there to do a knockdown rebuild in the future. This is a final shot of the backyard showing you how large that space is, and again, low maintenance, and a shot looking back towards the home. Finally, I thought I'd walk you through the floor plan, which is pretty standard for a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom home. But the good thing here is that it has that open plan kitchen, living and dining. So you can see the entryway as you come in into a large living space. And again, the kitchen is on that smaller side, like we said, but that's okay. That's all you need for a rental property. Then you've got those 3 bedrooms. Again, the master bedroom isn't enormous, but it's definitely usable and serviceable. And then you've got that bathroom plus the laundry off to the side. And the separate shower and toilet is quite useful in a 3-bedroom home. So now that you've seen the property, let's talk through the numbers and what my client is expecting in terms of the purchase price and the rental yield from this property and the plans going forward. So like I said earlier, my client purchased this property for around that $530,000 mark. We had a building and pest inspection on the property and negotiated on a few minor issues to get around about a $2,000 discount at settlement for the building and pests. Now, the rental yield for this property is expected in the low 500s or the high 400s per week, and my client is expecting to rent the property for about, say, $500 per week. This gives my client a gross yield just shy of 5%, sitting at 4.9% gross yield based on $500 per week of rent over a purchase price of $530K. We're seeing yields for these types of properties which have a balance between capital growth and cash flow between 4.5% gross yield to 5.5% gross yield, where it's a single dwelling on a larger parcel of land. Now, the disparity in yields comes down to the land component. Buildings depreciate over time and land appreciates in value. And in this case, my client was able to secure a property on over 700 square meters of land, giving him the options down the track to do a knockdown rebuild or to add an auxiliary unit in the future. Your yield will typically be compressed when you get a larger parcel of land. If you're looking at 700, 800 square meters, 1,000 square meters of land, that's going to typically have a higher land value. And that's where you see the yields become compressed further and further. Whereas if you're buying a property on a smaller parcel of land, 600 square meters, 500 square meters, 400 square meters in the similar areas, that's where you see higher yields come into play. A lot of these new housing estates in Yarrabilba and Park Ridge tout really good yields. But what you'll find is it's a brand new home, so there's a lot of value in the building, on a small parcel of land, for example, 300 to 400 square meters of land, in an area where another 1,000 homes will be built over the next 12 to 18 months. What this means is you don't have scarcity because you've bought a small parcel of land in an area that has lots of land subdivision. And so what my clients and I are trying to achieve is buying established properties with large parcels or large values of land. That doesn't mean you can't buy a 400 square meter block 5 k's from the city. Because that property is located close to the CBD in an area that is more dense, buying a 400 square metre block is typical. Whereas in this location, 20 to 30 kilometres from the Brisbane CBD in Logan City Council, the average block runs about 500 to 600 square metres. So if you can pick up a 700 square metre or an 800 square metre, 1000 square metre block that's going to give you options, you're also holding a larger land value, and that land value is going to help contribute to the capital growth in your property over time. Now, every person is different. Everyone's going to have a different price point, a different strategy, and no two properties are the same. You need to find the right property for the right price in the right location. Those are the key 3 criteria that you need to think about when making a property purchase. And this is exactly what I do as a buyer's agent here in the Brisbane and the Greater Brisbane market. We help clients buy properties that meet their needs and meet their buying criteria. Now, my client in this case was looking for something that was tenant ready, had a strong land component, and was also going to have value add potential in the long term to boost the cash flow or add capital value by doing a knockdown. They also wanted a reasonably strong rental yield, just shy of the 5% mark in this current market. This is why it's super critical to narrow down on exactly what you're looking for. Don't go scattergun approach looking across hundreds of suburbs and hundreds of properties. Narrow down to the specific criteria that you're looking for. What are the key suburbs that you're looking for based on the quantitative data and based on the qualitative data? What are the property specifics that you're looking for in terms of land size, bedrooms, bathrooms, rental yield? Narrow all of these key criteria down on paper, and that's when you'll be able to shortlist properties that meet your buying criteria. If you're looking for a buyer's agent to help you buy your own home or an investment property in the Brisbane market, you can reach out and have a chat with myself by booking in a strategy session at purposeproperty.com.au. I'd love to hear thoughts on this investment property. Is this the type of property you'd like to buy and add into your property portfolio? Or is there something else that you're looking for your next opportunity? Leave a comment down below and I respond to almost all the comments. Otherwise, drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and click this video over here for more things real estate, renovating, and financial freedom. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.